Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is NK and you're currently watching Tea Time. With that being said, let's jump right into this week's video. But before we get started, cheers. Ah, beautiful, beautiful tea. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to discuss a very special sneaker, as always. Before we actually start reviewing and looking at the sneaker that we're going to discuss today, let us look at two hypes that are currently dying. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me right. There are two types right now in the sneaker community that are currently dying and lost almost all the hype. The first type that is dying in the sneaker community, we already discussed it in the last video, and that is the 4D technology. We've seen less and less pair, although we were expecting to have so many releases already in 2019. Already back in 2018, nothing came so far. The technology has not really evolved, and still nothing that Adidas has promised, like optimizing every single shoe to your liking in store and printing the entire soles in store and then just connecting it to the upper. Nothing of this has happened, so this hype is kind of leaving more and more. And yes, all the new models are extremely expensive, but not a lot of hype is surrounding them. So investing your money in them, not a good idea. The second hype that is really starting to get down, and this is a controversy, a topic that has been discussed over and over and over again, and that is the Yeezy Boost 350, but as well as the 700. Let me explain. We have been seeing a lot of 350, and everybody on this channel knows that I am a huge 350 fan. Being stated, lately we have seen just so many colorways, like even I, a huge fanatic of the 350s, cannot keep up. There has been the Clay, the Hyperspace, then we've seen another Beluga 2.0, which is a small variation of the original Beluga, which I actually have, but nevertheless, it's just getting too crazy, too many colorways, and you really cannot keep up. Especially also with the 700s, we've seen so many different variations of the salt, cream colors, white colors, gray colors. They look more and more similar and actually change less and less and less. This brings us to the discussion that sneakerheads now for over years, and that is, are the 350s dying? Until now, I was always like, it's not dying. In 2018, already a lot of colorways have dropped, but nothing close to what we're expecting to release in 2019. I mean, this is really gonna be crazy. And for some people, this is amazing because they're gonna be a little bit more easy to obtain. But for the collectors that are actually hyped and excited to have something a little bit more exclusive, this exclusivity, this factor is gonna go down, and these people are probably gonna get more and more bored and exhausted of seeing new Yeezys. I count myself part of that, although I do not have that many Yeezys. That kind of out of the way and being stated, that was just a little update and my opinion on the latest and greatest news of the sneaker community. But now getting into actually the shoe that I want to review. The hype of 2019 so far has been the VaporMax. We're expected to see a shit ton of new colors, a shit ton of new colors, and they all look pretty fucking amazing if you ask me. Now, on AirMax Day, most of the 720 VaporMax colorways are supposed to release, such as the Sunset colorway and others like the Women's Day or the Night, and I have already talked about most of them actually in my previous videos. Nevertheless, until now I was not able to cop a pair for myself because I also did not really like the initial colorway. Of course, this is just a personal preference, but since they released, I did get the chance to try one of them on, and I was extremely surprised, since my last video was about how the VaporMax are actually a little bit underperformance and not really meeting any expectancies. Especially all the first reviews that we got, they always said that walking in them is kind of hindering, as well as not the best balance, and you can still not feel the air cushion in the front foot. Another reviewer of mine left me a comment saying that that is not the case, and now that I have tried them on, I have a few mixed feelings. Of course, I did not really walk much in them. I tried a pair of my friends. They were also a little bit too big, but nevertheless, I did get a first glance and a first experience of how they actually feel on foot. And to be quite frank, I did not really feel like there was the biggest difference between the 270s and the 720s. My initial expectations were that when I will try the 720s on, it's gonna be a little bit like the EQT Supports 9317s and the Ultra Boost, to have like really a big difference, because there were also like just the difference in the height of the boost cushion. Of course, also a little bit of the layout, but mainly because of the amount of boost. So since there was a bigger amount of air, I really expected something similar, but to my surprise, it was really not the case. Yes, you can definitely feel that air bubble being a little bit bigger, a little bit chunkier, and you do sink in a little bit. And very interesting is that the bottom is softer than on the AirMax 270s. Like the actual rubber bottom, it is softer, and it makes it a more comfortable and more relaxing ride. That being stated, the upper is something that I also discussed with my friend about. It is not tighter, but it is snugger. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to explain myself 100% perfectly here. But basically when you put your foot into the shoe, because it's such a leather-like construction, it is very, very snug, and it really, you don't have a lot of mobility in the shoe and you can't really wriggle your toes around. Where in the 270s that was a big feature, also in the Ultra Boost was the Prime Knit. This is something that people really liked and made the shoe a little bit more comfortable. So on the upper I really feel like it did take a step back, and that was also what was said in all the reviews that we've seen so far. So from like Seth Fowler, Mr. Fomer Simpson, Hess Kicks, and other YouTubers, they did mention that as well. Now that being said, I would recommend everybody of you to try a pair on for yourselves. Now that I have tried a pair on, I will try to cop a new colorway. Once the bigger and nicer colorways are gonna come out, I will try to cop some. I'm currently have my eyes and my goal on the Sunset, but I have heard that they might be limited. Not sure, nothing has been confirmed yet, so we just have to wait and see. That being stated, let's stick with the 720s. There is a 720 alteration, which is super crazy, super different, and really never seen before. Like, I have not seen any on feed picture, nothing really has been reviewed about them, and nobody has talked about them so far. So let's jump into it. Now the 720s that I would like to talk about are actually some high top boots. And I don't know if they have any correlation with Off-White, because on the tongue they do have an Off-White logo, as you might be able to see. But there's no Off-White branding, and comparing to the Off-White collection that has been coming out with all the Jordans, this is nothing similar. Like, there is no patch, no something distortion going on, so it does not seem like it's of the same family or lineup. I personally am not a high top person. I don't know why. I think I just fuck something up. Something is just not fitting when I wear high tops. Nevertheless, I think this is a clean silhouette. But yeah, I do not get the point. They don't look like basketball shoes. I don't think that they have a huge amount of support, especially with the 720 air bubble, like the 360 wrapping air bubble. I don't think it has a lot of support, a lot of stability, and I don't think it's great for hooping. So my conclusion on this shoe is that it's probably gonna be just a fashion shoe, so not really sport related. Nevertheless, I think they look clean, and I guess some people could really pull them off. I personally, again, I'm not a high top person, and I just could not pull off also this colorway. That being said, I have not seen a lot of people talking about these. They are actually confirmed by a few different sources, so they really will come out. That being said, if you do have your eye on it, I will keep you updated on these when they will release and the price point. If you want to know that, subscribe. And even if you don't like these shoes, still subscribe. Yes, this kind of to the side, we do not have more information on it. I'm sorry guys, I will definitely, as I said, keep you updated, but this is all that I have for you up to this point. Guys, that being said, if you like this video just a tiny bit, smash this like button and subscribe. That being said, I'm out, boys and girls. Peace.